Hey guys, it's Sam here in Gazelle Sports in Grand Rapids, here to do a review of the new Pure series from Adidas. Alright, so let's get started here. We are going to start off with the brand new Ace PureControl. You see you get a couple extra things in the box here. You do get a shoehorn, because these things are a little tricky to put on the first couple times. Then you also get the comfort liner that you guys can throw in there. A little bit thicker, a little more plush, so if you want a little bit more cushion in your boots, you can throw these in there. Alright, so let's take a look here. Comes with a nice little bag. Let's take a look at the boots. You can see that we are reviewing these in the Speed of Light colorway. So nice bright pop of color for you guys to check out here. Alright. So, PureControl, you can see this is the Adidas laceless, as many people call it. No laces here on this guy at all. Full prime knit upper with the non-stop grip technology. What that is, it's these tiny little micro beads that they put into the polyurethane when they put that over top of the prime knit. Just give you a little bit more traction on the ball in wet conditions, a little better ball feel when you're doing that. So what most people don't realize is that in order to make this boot stable and hold your foot nice and snug, is that they have to put an inner liner inside the boot. What that's going to do is it's a liner that wraps around the midfoot. We're just going to hold your midfoot down, lock that foot in so that it's not sliding around a whole lot in the boot. And then last but not least, we've got sprint frame. Again, on the bottom, it's going to give you a nice rigid push off through the midfoot and then nice flexibility up here in the toes. Next boot on the agenda, the PureChaos. So again, open up the box, you see that you have this comfort liner in here, care instructions, then we've got the boots right here. So, nice bright red colorway from the Speed of Light pack, like I mentioned. I'll take a look at these guys here. So the same goes for the X and the Messi's, is that these actually do have laces. They're just kind of tucked underneath this initial layer here. Adidas is calling that their prime cut sock. So what you can do is you can still lace it up, get a nice midfoot lockdown, but then you can tuck them underneath this nice layer of synthetic here, and that's going to give you excellent touch on the ball because you have a full flat surface to make contact, while still making sure that your foot's not sliding around. So a couple other things here. Again, you see non-stop grip, so you can feel the texture on the upper of the boot, and then the tech fit is the material that they're using on the inside. So the inner liner is a tech fit material, which is nothing new from Adidas, but still really nice thing to have in a soccer boot. You'll notice if you take a look at the heel here that there are some grips added on to the heel. That's to keep your heel and Achilles from sliding around too much. Keep the boots on and make sure that you're extremely locked down in these. This is considered their fast, their speed boot, so you want to make sure that the boots are going to stay on nice and snug. And then again, just like we're familiar with from Adidas, sprint frame on the bottom, rigid through the midfoot, flexible in the toes here. Last but not least, we have the Messi PureAgility. So, no surprises here. Comfort liner, first thing you see. Care instructions also come in the box. So let's get into it. So you can see we have the bright blue colorway from the Speed of Light pack for the Messi's. Quick little note here, on the bag you can see that you get this little tag that says the color treatment of the boots is going to wear with use. That's totally normal. It's not going to affect your play at all. It just sometimes the colors will bleed or peel or flake, and that's just completely normal with the way the boots are made nowadays. So, the Messi. Very similar silhouette to the PureChaos, a few differences here. The major difference is in the upper, so you can see that they're using a little different material here. They're calling this their agility knit, so it's a little bit softer initially, feels more similar to prime knit, probably just a little bit less stretchy. So they replace the NSG with the agility knit, so you're still going to get a great touch on the ball because of the texture, with a little bit softer of an upper here. Then you see that you have tech fit inside the boot as well. That's again going to give you that nice midfoot lockdown. If we flip it to the bottom, you're going to see a little bit different stud pattern here. These are the Messi studs. multi-directional, going to give you a lot of traction and grip in many different directions if you're trying to play like Messi. You still have sprint frame, so you get that rigidity through the midfoot, and then again, real nice flexibility in the forefoot. Alright, got the PureControls on my feet now. I have to admit, putting them on was a little strange. Shoehorn did come in handy, so if you guys want to make sure that you're keeping your boots as pristine as possible, make sure you're using that shoehorn. So, a little bit of a wider platform. I noticed that the collar sits right on my ankle bones, which is a pretty pleasant sensation. Not too tall, not too tight, so Adidas really nailed it as far as that goes. Then you work your way forward. Now the only thing that I noticed is that it doesn't feel like there's a whole lot holding my midfoot in place, but as I move around and as I twist around, that internal collar is really doing its job, making sure that my foot stays in place. So if you guys are worried about your foot sliding around, I don't think that that's going to be too much of an issue. It feels like your foot's a little bit more free, but at the same time, it feels like it's secure, so I wouldn't worry about that. Now I play in the 16 plus prime knit, the ones with the laces. So the first thing that I noticed right away is that the upper on the PureControls here is a little bit stiffer initially, and that would make sense in order to keep your foot locked down, to have that material a little bit stiffer initially, but I'm sure that that's going to soften right up as you break them in. And then I'll show you guys the bottom of the boot here. You can see that sprint frame, real nice flexible movement in the toes. And then this last thing I wanted to mention too, you guys will see there's a sticker that'll be on the bottom of your boots when you get it. That's just saying that that chrome effect is going to wear off as you play. Totally normal, it's just a paint that they put on top of it. It's not going to affect the way that the boot plays or traction at all. Alright, now you guys can see that I've got the PureChaos on my foot. This is my personal favorite from the lineup. It fits my foot shape really well, but again, that's just my personal preference. So, right away, I'm going to tell you guys, don't lace these as tight as you would with your normal boots. The boot is meant to hold your foot nice and snug. That Tech Fit liner is going to hold your midfoot. So don't yank on the laces. You could either tear them, or you're just going to get real uncomfortable pinching right up through here. So again, just nice and easy on the lacing, and these should work just fine for you. So right away, these are incredibly lightweight. That's the one thing I noticed. That double layer system doesn't add a ton of weight to the boots. These just feel fast. So that over layer through here is just nice and soft, very, very flexible. I don't think it's going to take much to break these guys in. So you're not going to spend a lot of time working on these to get them. I don't think there's going to be a lot of issues with blistering. So again, I'll show you guys the bottom. You see that chrome paint job on the bottom. Again, sprint frame through the midfoot, and then real nice and flexible up in the toes. Alright, and finally, the PureAgilities. So the first thing I'm going to say about these, and I was very surprised by it, is that this upper is by far the most comfortable of the ones that I've tried. That agility in it is just so soft and flexible right out of the box that I have a hard time believing that it's going to get any softer, even though I know that it is during the break-in period. So again, very, very similar feel to the PureChaos. I noticed right away. Again, same thing goes with the lacing. Don't lace them too tight, your feet are going to be uncomfortable. The laces are just there to add that extra last bit of lockdown. So lace them snug but not too tight, and you guys should be good to go. That collar on the back is just a little bit shorter than in the PureChaos. So if this is something that bothered you when you were trying those on, slip these on, give them a try. They're very, very similar boots, but do have a little different feel. I noticed that the stud pattern feels a little bit more level, whereas in the PureChaos, it was a little bit more staggered, which is what you would want from a speed boot. This one I feel very, very controlled just even sitting here on the carpet, so I imagine getting on the grass is going to feel excellent in these guys here. So I'll show you guys the stud pattern on the bottom here. Again, that chrome plating, Adidas is doing it on all their stuff, makes it look really good. Paint will flake, not a big deal, it's not going to affect you a whole lot. Alright, so that concludes our review video for the new Pure line from Adidas. As you can see, Adidas has a boot for just about every player, so stop in the store and check them out, and then we can help you complete your game. So with that, let's jump right into the review here. As you can see, I've got the Superfly 5 on my feet, and I think this is a fantastic update.